For joining us this afternoon. My name's Heidi Buckingham. I'm a sales and distribution consultant here at Zurich, and today's webinar is on our claims team and their digital proposition and their simplification journey. And I'm joined by my two colleagues, Natalie Bate and Helen Rogers, who, as you can see here, Natalie is our head of claims relationship management for the retail part of the business, and Helen is our head of claims digital experience. So just a couple of bits of housekeeping before we get going. Everyone's in listen only mode at the moment. So if you have any questions throughout the course of the webinar, feel free to just pop them in the chat box and we'll answer them at the end. At the end of the session, I will take you off mute. And if you do want to ask a question on camera and come off mute, then feel free. As I mentioned before, the session is being recorded, so I'll send around a copy of the recording and the slides to everyone that's attended afterwards, and also a feedback survey, which we're always really grateful if you can fill in and suggest any future topics you'd like us to talk about. So with that, we'll get going and I'll hand over to Natalie.
Thanks so much, Heidi. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and thank you all so much for joining us. Helen and I are going to talk to you today around our digital proposition in our claims department, and it's something that we are really proud of. We have made such strides forwards in the last few years, and we're really excited by some of the developments propositionally and customer outcomes that we're able to provide to you and to your clients. We are going to do it dynamically. So shortly, Helen is going to flash up an overview slide that indicates 5 of the tools and parts of our digital proposition that we are going to talk to you about. This is just an overview, so you can see a snapshot of what they are and the benefits that they provide to you and to your clients. And we will ask for you, the first person in wins. What would you like us to talk to you about first? If you could just pop into the chat a suggestion of where you'd like us to go first, we will deep dive on that topic for you. Thanks, Sam. Claims Hub. So Helen, you called it. That's the first one that we thought might come up. So absolutely delighted to talk to you about our Zurich Claims Hub. So this is something that our teams have been working really hard on this year. It is going to be a self-service claims portal for our customers and our brokers. It essentially does what it says on the tin, but we are really proud about some of the market leading aspects of this Claims Hub. So you will have access to all of your claims for your clients, and you'll be able to go in and see the most present position update of that claim. And really excitingly, we don't have a kind of a day-to-day upload from our system to the hub. It will be an instant communication with our system to give you up-to-date information when you log into our portal. Clearly, it means that there's the ability for you to self-serve. So lots of queries around has documents been received, whether a payment's been made and approved, you'll be able to see. So there will be the claim summary giving you the high level details of the claim. You'll see a repository of all the documents that have been sent on the claim, and you can upload documents directly yourselves. You can get the latest updates on that claim. You'll get the financial information on the claim also. So you'll know the current present position of the reserve and the payments that have been made. And another really exciting aspect for our motor claims is that rather than logging into our Zurich Claims Hub that you're just seeing a little screenshot of there on the right hand side of the screen, rather than logging in there for motor claims and then having to log into the repairers hub or the repairer portal for their updates, we are directly bringing that information straight to the screen for you. So it's just one login to our Zurich Claims Hub and you'll be able to see all the information that you could possibly want on the motor side of things without having to go to our approved network for the details directly with them. So our Zurich Claims Hub, we are launching this very shortly, and we're going to do it in a phased approach. So we will have it in play by the end of the year, and we'll be bringing it to you in a phased way over the course of the next few months to ensure that you are comfortable with using it and that we take you through kind of either with your relationship contact at Zurich or directly with a claims handler, just to ensure that you understand how to use the portal and how to make best use of our Zurich Claims Hub. We're also really excited and happy for any feedback once you are using it and you're up and running on our Zurich Claims Hub as to what you'd like to see for further developments. It's definitely something that isn't just going to be launched once and that's it. We will be continuously improving it based on your feedback. So let us know how you're using it and what you'd like to see more so in there. We will have integrations with our eFNOL portals and equally with our live chat. And we will talk to you about both of those things a little later on. So that's everything for the Zurich Claims Hub. We'll take you back to the overview slide now, and you can choose the next one that you'd like us to deep dive on. Perfect. eFNOL portal. I'll hand that over to you, Helen.
Thank you. And I will just very quickly get us onto that slide. So thank you, everybody. I echo Natalie's comments earlier. Really excited to be here with you today to be able to talk you through some of the exciting things we've got going on in Zurich. So eFNOL portals. Slightly different to the portal that or the claims hub that Natalie just spoke you through, whereas that one is an interactive portal. You can go in and obviously check for updates. Our eFNOL or online reporting portals are slightly different. This is a portal where you would go and you will input the information through which will be received by our claims team. It's really easy to access. If you go onto the Zurich website under Make a Claim, and on the slides I have put the link there for you as well, but you will be able to go in there and decide which line of business it is that you want to report online, whether it's property, motor or casualty, and then also whether it's retail, commercial or Zurich Municipal. The benefits of the portal is that once you've submitted a claim through the portal, you get an instant acknowledgement via email, which will basically be a summary of everything you've provided during the submission. You will also get copies of everything that you've uploaded. So if you've uploaded a document, if you've uploaded images, they will all be attached to the email, so you have it all in one place and a complete record of what you've submitted through to Zurich. You will also receive an instant temporary reference number, which our claims staff can then use to locate it on our claims system, should you call in with a query. It also gives greater structure for our claims team. All the information that they require is mirrored off of our claims system. So it's quite detailed information that we ask, and it's in a great format for them to be able to assist you with any queries. Really important for me and something that's really close to my heart is the feedback loop. So we do ask TMPS on the back of our portal form, because it's really valuable for us that you tell us what works and what doesn't work. And on that point, we've recently completed quite a number of changes to our eFNOL online portal, all of which has taken into consideration the TMPS feedback we've had from brokers and customers. Some of the really cool elements of the portal is for yourselves, brokers, and for our corporate customers, we can bespoke them or customize them. So if you want dual branding, we can put your logo alongside ours. If there are a few bespoke questions, perhaps a specific type of question you want asked, we can include that as well. And we can also send that form on to as many sort of people that you want to have included. So if it's a fleet manager, or if it's a particular person at the broker that you want to be copied into all claim submissions through the portal, we can ensure that that happens as well. Last thing on the portal that I wanted to add, which I think is probably the most exciting, is we are in the process of an integration with our claim system. So as it hits the portal, so to speak, it will be auto-populated onto our claim system, which just further improves the response times and ensures that we are there for yourselves and your clients quicker and more efficiently. So that's it for the eFNOL portal. I'll take you back to the summary page, and please feel free to let us know what you want to hear about next.
Helen, I think Ruth already got in there and popped in live person, and Vanessa's just done a second in for that. So if we go to live person next, I think that's the one that we'd like to go to.
Beg your pardon. I'm on presenter mode, so I can only see when I come out of there. But yeah, all right, super. So live person, this is our live chat functionality. As you can see on the screen, it's web, WhatsApp, and SMS messaging combined with the natural language bot. So the benefits here, I think, are quite obvious in the sense that it's just that additional channel. That means you're not having to wait on the phone for an update. If you happen to get through to the incorrect department, you're then again having to wait on the phone to get through to the correct department, where you could be using that valuable time to service clients elsewhere. And it might be something that you're happy for us to come back to you on. So it's that additional channel. It's also not restricted by opening times. We do have a bot in place, out with office hours. So if yourselves or a customer was to want to report a claim, the bot will automatically steer you towards our online portals where you can then report that claim to us. If it's an existing claim you want to talk to us about, the bot will let you know when the next available handler will be online, which will be tie-in with our opening hours, and you'll be automatically put into a queue, and that will be picked up when our handlers are in the office and logged on. Updates can obviously be requested and provided within a reasonable time. It's a lot more instant. We are seeing a lot more successes in terms of third-party interventions, because when we are reaching out to a third party, we are able to send them the direct link to the WhatsApp in which they would reply to ourselves, and we can then deal with their claims for them. We have recently introduced the outbound feature. So essentially, we will be able to use our live chat function to proactively send out updates to yourselves. You will hear a sneak peek, but on one of the other digital capabilities that I'll speak about shortly, Hello Zurich, so keep that one in mind. We will be able to send through invitations through our live chat as well, so that you will have a really seamless transition from one platform to the other. It's obviously a lot more sustainable, our live chat, because we are reducing the number of emails. We're requesting further information. You're getting quicker settlements because the information is received instantly on our side. And it just makes that two-way communication a lot easier. You're not having to rely on us coming back to you for any particular thing. One thing that's quite nice, I think, for your benefit as brokers is when you're using the web chat function, so not WhatsApp and messages, because obviously that's on the phone and it will have a record anyway, but when you're using the web chat, you can actually save a transcript of that conversation to PDF. So you've always got a record of what was said back and forth between yourselves and Zurich. So the last thing I want to touch on is the fact that this too can be accessed really easily through our website. Again, if you go to the Make a Claim page like you would for our EFNL portals, you will see little hyperlinks, message bubbles at the bottom of the screen. But equally, for ease, on the slides, we do have the hyperlinks as well, so you will be able to access it through there. And I'm going to quickly have a look to see if anyone has preempted and given me my next topic.
Not got anything yet, so if you'd like to suggest whether we go to Sprout or Hello Zurich next, those are your choices. Paul has said, let's go to Sprout, just as you were just slightly behind, so we'll go to Sprout.
All right, okay, let me get us to the right slide. There we go. Right, so Sprout's really exciting. So Sprout AI are our technology partner. They specialize in artificial intelligence, and it's the end-to-end claims automation process. Now, if we can get claims onto a system, we can have it automatically assessed, and a decision made to the customer. Understandably, that process would be a lot slicker. It would be a lot quicker. So we have been working with Sprout. We've started slow because appreciating artificial intelligence is new to the way of the insurance world in some respects. So at the moment, we are focusing primarily on our property contents book, and it's more towards personal lines, but we are looking to expand that out into commercial in due course. But essentially, it is a lot quicker in terms of claim settlements. It's a lot more accurate. You know, there's none of this human interpretation of a policy booklet and limitations and exclusions and excesses, etc. It's all machine learning that gives us a very quick, instant decision on whether a particular loss is covered. It will also check whether damage is consistent. It will detect fraud. There's obviously fraud detection practices in place, reducing leakage. Obviously, if there's an exclusion, it's going to pick that up straight away, and we're not paying something we shouldn't be, or equally not paying something that we should be. And just to bring it to life slightly, in terms of our success factors to date, we've seen a 10% increase in claims settled within the first 5 days, with the use of Sprout providing us with recommendations. Naturally, that's had an increase in proportion with our TMPS. So those claims that are settled quicker, we are seeing an increase in our TMPS. Sprout, we're obviously closely monitoring to make sure that the accuracy is there, and they have hit 98% accuracy in all recommendations that they've provided to us. So if I just take you back slightly, there is a direct integration between our claim system and Sprout. So information that's fed onto our claim system is automatically transferred across to them, where they run the analysis, do the policy checks, and then provide us with recommendations as to what should happen, what the next step should be, whether it's assessing, appraising the damage. If they've got the information available, they will provide us with settlement figures, and then it's up to our claims handlers to just then go make the offer and process the payment. We are obviously looking at improving on this, and we are hopeful that by the end of the year, we will be able to have shown that we've had a straight through processing in our claims, so on the system, and the payment's been made. So really exciting. I think that the catchphrase at the top, I think, is something that I've really appreciate, and that is, you know, the claims is the moment of truth. And with Sprout, we will be able to be a lot more efficient. We will be able to ensure that the customer service is right up there with the best, and that automating end to end will obviously speed things up. So I was going to say, does anybody want to hear about Hello Zurich, since it's the last one? And I'm just going to go there because that is the last one to discuss with you all. So Hello Zurich is probably one of the newest digital tools that we've brought out. We launched it towards the back end of last year. This is a video calling tool. So it's been developed internally. So it's a Zurich product. We don't use an external party to handle the platform. It allows us to connect with customers in a really personal and efficient manner. It is that face-to-face interaction. So essentially, a handler would set up a session. The customer does not have to, or yourselves, you do not have to download an app. You don't have to remember credentials, forget passwords, have to try and reset them. The session's set up, you receive an email, a few clicks, and you are connected with our agent. Something that's important to note at this, you know, obviously conscious that you are all brokers. It is a two-way video streaming platform, but there is an additional 2 people audio. So let's say, for example, one of your customers, a property, for example, customer is on the phone to one of our handlers, and we do this video connection. We can include you in that conversation. So whilst we won't physically see your face, you will be part of the conversation, and you will be able to see the handler and the customer. So you can be there and be, you know, close to the conversation and guide as necessary. So in terms of some of the benefits, I touched on the first one there. There is no application that needs to be downloaded. You can get onto the platform straight away. It is that face-to-face interaction. I think very often we have a situation where we send through numerous emails. You're then in a waiting list, waiting for somebody to get to that email, to come back to you, to sometimes ask you for further information. With Hello Zurich, we've got the beauty where and we're being more sustainable, we are cutting out that ping pong email back and forth. We can connect, we can suggest to the customer they will have to accept and allow the access to their photo or camera rather, but we then can take photographs real time. So if it's something in the property, or if it's, you know, a dent on a car, whatever it might be, we can say to the customer, let me have a look at the damage. We can take screenshots so we can make sure that we have everything we need to process that claim. And the stress is not on the customer. They don't have to think, oh, what would Zurich need from me? We can guide them through the process. We can take the information that's necessary in order to settle their claim. That obviously is a quicker turnaround. And we have seen instances in our teams where they have settled claims within a matter of minutes because they haven't had to wait for something from the customer and the customer then to ask for something else, or for us to ask the customer, and so it goes. The accuracy, and this is one thing I wanted to just quickly touch on, is when you are speaking to a customer, it's very difficult over the phone or a broker to gauge exactly the level of damage or exactly what that customer is trying to explain to you. And we've seen really positive instances where, because our handler could see the damage for themselves, they were in a position where they could decide, actually, a building repair network's not appropriate in this instance because the damage is far worse than we had thought. Get a loss adjuster in straight away, save ourselves 2 weeks and further damage to the customer's property. Equally, you know, we see what we need to see, we satisfy ourselves, and we settle the claim really, really quickly. We also have a feedback loop on Hello Zurich, something I think you'll see is quite common across most of our digital platforms. We want feedback. We want to be able to improve for all of you. So at the end, you will have a pop-up. It's obviously optional, as is every other TMPS survey, but we really value the feedback. And that's how we have managed to implement changes within Hello Zurich over the last, few months. And because it's an inbuilt tool, it's a lot easier and a lot quicker for us to act on that change and those recommendations from yourselves. Last thing I wanted to just add is, you'll see on the screen in front of you, our TMPS year to date on Hello Zurich is currently sitting at +87, which is a really, really positive score. We have had numerous customers who, are really, really grateful that they have had that personal touch. They're not just somebody on the other end of a phone, and we've been in a position where we could settle for them a lot quicker in their time of need. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because we've been through all the tools that Nat and I wanted to speak to you about today, and we'll get to questions.
Helen, thank you so much. Oh, Heidi, sorry about that. I was just going to say,
right.
Helen, we've got some questions in the chat already.
Yeah, we've got quite a few. Shall I run through them?
Brilliant, thanks, Heidi.
Thank you. Right, so first question was from Emily, and she said, aside from the EF null, could you advise if any of these digital propositions would work for brokers and clients for scheme insurance policies?
Oh, Helen.
I'm sorry. I'm just, the honest answer is I don't see why not. I don't know, Nat, if you've got any thoughts around this, but essentially we try and update and design to help and satisfy across the board. But if there is anything where, based on what we've told you today, and you go away and try a link and it doesn't work for you, then I think that's where the feedback loop is so important, so that we can look to make sure that we really are aiming it at all customers. Natalie, I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that.
Yeah, Emily, specifically, we maybe can have a chat and I could give you a call afterwards. But like Helen said, these are tools that are designed to be across our proposition for all of our different types of insurances, different lines of business and different customers. So the way that you write the policy shouldn't really affect how the claims proposition works for you. So I would be confident to say that, yes, I think they would work across brokers and clients in the scheme insurance world as well.
Thanks both. Question from Richard. Is the new hub solely for commercial lines claims, or will it work for claims under Zurich household and private motor policies, including Zurich private clients?
Yeah, so I'm happy to take this one. Initially, we wanted to start, somewhere. We wanted to start off small. So in our first initial offering, it will be aimed at our more commercial customers who are on our Guidewire claim system. But we will most certainly be looking towards, once we've got past this first part of the journey where we've onboarded numerous customers and brokers, and we've managed to get feedback, then absolutely we would then be looking to roll it out so that it is not just broker and commercial specific, and that all customers will be able to have access to the information. So it's definitely something that's on the horizon, the near horizon. But we had to start somewhere and make sure that it worked before we started to involve every customer.
Question from Peter. Does casualty include property owners' liability claims? Yes. Perfect. Nice, easy one. Question from Samantha. Are the claims still being processed by handlers, but on the recommendation of Sprout?
Currently, yes. So that is very much how it is working at the moment. We obviously need to be sure that we have the confidence and that Sprout are processing in the way that we would want them to, and that the accuracy is there. So at the moment, yes. In the future, the aim would be that human element would be taken out of the equation, but there's a lot of work to get there first. But yes, at the moment, there is still a handler that will be validating before anything is sent to customers in the way of offers.
Brilliant. Thanks, Helen. There's a question here from Emma, who's asked, firstly, what is TMPS? Do you want to cover that bit first, and then we'll do the second half afterwards?
Yeah, sure. So sorry, I always talk TMPS acronyms. So it's our transactional net promoter score. So essentially you would be asked on a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate Zurich? Would you recommend Zurich to your friends and your family? Anybody who scores you 0 to 6 is a detractor, so they would not recommend Zurich. Anybody who scores you a 9 and a 10 would be your promoters. They would recommend you. And your 7s and your 8s are considered your passives. So they're not quite sure. They could be swayed probably either way. And the way your TMPS is calculated is you would take the total number of responses that you get for a particular, whether it's a tool or whether it's overall, you would take the percentage of your promoters minus the percentage of your detractors, and that gives you a TMPS score. I hope that was clear.
Thank you. Second half of the question was, if a policyholder disagrees with a repudiation, for example, that's made by Sprout, do they then have the opportunity to challenge this with a claims handler? You kind of covered that bit.
Yeah, so at the moment, that's not even a consideration because our handler will always be making sure that that is absolutely the right thing. But looking to the future, we don't want to treat our customers any differently. And if a customer is unhappy, we're not going to force a solution on them. So let's say, for argument's sake, Sprout sends a recommendation or rather a settlement to the customer or an offer, and the customer disagrees. We would then bring that back in-house to a handler to then review. So there will always be that loop and that security blanket, if you like.
Perfect. Thanks, Helen. Another question here. When a broker is changed mid-term, can your system or the claims hub be aligned for the new broker to run off claims history?
Do you want to take that, Nat? I saw you nodding away, so I'll let you go.
Yeah, it's a big topic for us at the moment, Emma, to make sure that we are providing the right information to the right brokers and not breaching any regulatory requirements around data that's available and shouldn't be available. So the alignment of the view of the runoff claims that you would expect to see should be aligned onto the hub. And nobody should see any data that isn't appropriate for them to see either.
Another question here. Is Hello Zurich available for personal lines and commercial lines for property and motor?
Absolutely. So what we've done is we've made it available to every single claim staff in Zurich. It's up to the teams really how they want to use it, but I would encourage our brokers that now we have it, feel free to ask for it to be used. It's absolutely there for anybody. Just to give you an idea, our rehabilitation team use it quite extensively. And they're not dealing with claims, they're dealing with people who are injured, and it's been really successful. So yes, there is no limit. It can be used with any line of business, across all whether it's personal, commercial, it can be used. Yeah, absolutely.
Great, thanks, Helen. We've got a good question here from Richard. Will you be sending out a link to all participants of the webinar so they can register for the Claims Hub, or what's your plans for the rollout of it?
So, Richard, brilliant question. It's delightful to see the engagement and the want to engage with us with our hub. We will be rolling out the hub in a phased way over the next few months. So we will start with our largest brokers and making sure that we're up to speed and they are understanding how to use our hub and get the most from it. Equally, building on the feedback that we get from those brokers who are in our kind of step one for that rollout process. And then we will proceed to just keep rolling it out across our entire broker networks. Richard, I will note your enthusiasm and share that with colleagues for a particular interest of yours.
Thanks, Nat. So I can't see any more questions in the chat at the moment. Has anyone else got anything that they would? Oh, we've just had one come through, and I just remembered I said I was going to take you off mute, and I haven't done it, so I'll do that now quickly. I'll ask the question first, and then I'll do it. When a handler is on live person, are they solely on this for however long, or will they be taking calls in between chats? Do the handlers need to use differing systems to chat via WhatsApp, SMS or web, or are they integrated in a central location for the handler? Also, how many chats would they have running at a time? Thanks, Samantha.
So I will break that down. So when they are logged into the live chat, yes, they will still carry on with other, parts of their job. They could potentially take a telephone call. I think it's really up to the operation how they want to manage, and the team managers how they want to manage it. I have heard that those that are manning the chat, so to speak, are probably provided with a bit of leeway in terms of how many calls that they need to take, because we do want the focus to also be, there's no point having a live chat that speeds up your responses if those handlers are all stuck on calls and can't get to you that way as well. So there's a little bit of a balancing act. In terms of, is it all in one location? Yes, the handlers have one platform that they would use, and it whether it's web, is a text or WhatsApp, they have one user interface basically that they would look at. And in terms of all chats running, I will be corrected here, but I believe it's 5 at any one time. But I have more than happy to come back to you on that. One of the guys in my team, this is his baby, and he would know that answer like this. So more than happy to check that and come back to you, but I'm pretty sure it's 5.
Thanks, Helen. We had another one from Richard, but I can see Natalie's answered that one for him in the chat box. So I'll give it another minute or so if anyone does have anything else that they would like to ask. But thanks for your engagement. We've had loads of questions today, which is brilliant. And thanks, of course, to Helen and Natalie for today's session. It was really, really insightful. And it's great to hear about everything that we've delivered over the last couple of years and everything that's on the horizon as well. So I'll just give it another few seconds in case any other questions do come in, and if not, we'll close the session for this afternoon.
Thank you, Heidi. And if I may just provide some closing comments and thoughts. Brilliant to see everybody here today, and absolutely engaged on the topic that is really dear to mine and Helen's heart, which is our claims proposition and being there for our customers when they absolutely need us most. And our digital proposition is all about providing solutions and furthering our proposition to give everybody a choice of how they communicate with us to suit their needs, to suit their business model and the way that they would like to transact and communicate with Zurich. There's no force of approach, there's a variety and a choice in it. This was really intended to make sure that everybody's aware of what's out there in terms of our digital proposition at Zurich, and that you and your clients know how best to get the most from us during the claims process.
Brilliant, thanks Natalie. We've just had one other question. Can you upload estimates and photos? Not sure which exactly part of the proposition you're referring to there, Emma.
We could potentially answer, if I asked Helen the question, could a broker upload estimates and photos to the hub? The answer would be yes, and EFNOL would be the same. And Hello Zurich would be a video call, so you wouldn't need to.
And also on the web chat, you would be able to provide us with documents that way too.
Perfect. We have had a couple more questions come in. When a third party reports a fault motor claim, will this be shown on the hub for brokers to obtain allegations?
Initially, I believe it's quite limited in terms of the information. It probably won't be all of that right in the beginning, but I'm glad you've raised it, because Alistair and my team, who is working on the improvements to the Claims Hub, or when I say the improvements, the next additions to the Claims Hub, he had actually asked what you as brokers would want to see visible to you. So that's one that I will happily take away to him to make sure that that is included. If not in this first edition, then certainly when it comes to updating it. So if you have any more, sort of notifications you'd like to be made aware of, please feel free to let us know and we will share it with that team.
Thanks, Helen. Right, I've got one more. Is there a communication tool in the Claims Hub, such as leaving a note that will be responded to, or will we need to live chat?
So in the hub, we will be integrating LivePerson into there. So once you've logged into our hub, you will see in the corner the opportunity to live chat with any of our Zurich staff. So that would be the way that if you wanted to communicate with us on a particular claim or anything else really, Sam, that's the way you would do it. There wouldn't be a method for you to leave something in there and that would notify us. It would be a live chat.
Yeah, thanks, Natalie. So I think that looks like all of the questions. Can't see any others popping in the chat box. So thank you again to Natalie and Helen for this afternoon session. It was brilliant. Thanks to you all for joining and for your interaction and all your questions. I'll share the recording with you afterwards, and feel free to forward that on to other people at your organisations if you'd like to share it any further. And look forward to hopefully seeing you again at another webinar in the next few months. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Bye everyone.
Bye.